Right, so today we're going to be talking about the difference between high context culture and low context culture. And to help me describe this, I brought in a friend all the way from Japan. I flew him in just for this video. He came from Osaka to Toronto just to talk about, no, not really just to talk about this, but all the way from Osaka to Toronto. And he's here working. May I introduce Keita?
Hi, I'm Keita from Osaka, and then I've been like 8 months.
Yeah, so he's been in Canada for 8 months, and he's learned a lot about the different cultures and the different contexts. And so he's been kind of teaching me, and now because I'm learning Japanese, and so
I'm learning English.
Yeah, so it kind of works out perfectly.
Exactly.
And so we wanted to make a video to try and help all the people studying a new language on the difference between high context and low context. So first, let's start by explaining what high context and low context are.
Yeah.
So there's a Japanese expression called
Kukyoyomu.
And it basically means reading the air or reading the atmosphere.
Atmosphere.
And so what I mean by that is in English, we say something direct. If I say, if I have dinner, I have a steak dinner and I don't like it, I tell the waiter or waitress directly, I didn't like it. There was something wrong with it. It was undercooked. There's something bad with it. Versus in Japan, if you don't like the food at the restaurant, what do you say?
Okay, we can go there. For sure.
And then you have the steak and you eat it. It's terrible. But your girlfriend brought you there. What do you say?
That's pretty good. We never express our mind directly, because that should be respect for each other times. That's real. Yeah.
And so it's really different in terms of Japanese culture and like Western culture in English. And it's something that I'm just learning right now. And since Keita's been working in Canada for about 8 months, he's experienced it in the work culture. So what happened at work that kind of drove you towards this?
When I start to work there, and then I make a mistake, my manager will tell me, hey, I like your way, but that is wrong way. I don't like it. You have to improve, blah, 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 blah. Okay, this is my culture difference. So when I work in Japan, so when I make a mistake, my manager, my boss, tell me, Keita, you think your way is right or not? Just think about it yourself. I was like, oh, what the hell? Because what should I do? I don't know what is the right way. I just do my best. And then, okay, 1 hour later, I will check it. Just do it. And then 1 hour later, hey boss, I did it. Can you check it? Finally, he's gonna say, this is wrong. It's just waste of our time. They never express their opinion directly. So this is the most difficult thing, the most different things from Japanese and Western culture.
Gotcha. So in Canada, I work at a bank. I'm my full-time job, we call it a 9-to-5 job, Monday to Friday. I work at a bank. And when I do something wrong at the bank, they immediately tell me. They have to tell me right away. They're not going to say it's okay. Well, you do what you want to do.
Yeah.
It's very you did this wrong. You're in trouble for this. Here's how we can fix it. Although Canadian culture is very polite about it, they say you did this wrong, but here's how we can correct it in the future. So that, going forward, you don't make this mistake again. Something like that. It's a very polite way to look at it in comparison to maybe American culture or something like that, but it's still very direct.
Yeah, still direct. And I can give you another example. And then, so when I started to work in the cafe here, right? I was in the cashier and another barista is next to me. And then I got a latte order. And then I put the latte on the cup. I just put the cup beside her. She never started to make the coffee. You know what I mean? In here, low context culture, we have to explain everything. Hey, this is the cup for the latte. I got the latte order. You should make it. Something like that. In Japan, just put the coffee and then another barista gonna make the latte. exactly. But
You don't have to say anything. The barista knows. They
Yeah.
read the air. The
Yeah.
cookie yomu, they
yeah,
understand.
they understand. But here, never. Just still chilling. I was like, hey, what are you doing? And then she was like, but this is usual for her. That's why, hey, Keita, what's happened? Did I something wrong? This is a cup of latte. Can you make it? Okay, finally, I know. Yeah, that is also my I experienced it.
So maybe because she doesn't know you want her to make the latte, right?
Yeah.
Exactly. She thinks you're making the latte because you start the order.
Yeah.
So she's waiting for the next order, does something else,
Yeah.
right? And so it's really a really good example of high context and low context. Maybe I'll add some diagram here.
My
high
face,
context and low
your
context. And so this is a great example of it. What else do we have?
Our example.
Oh,
Or-
no. So we did examples.
That's an example.
Oh, change your life.
Because
So in terms of if you're studying English or if you're planning on coming to Canada or America, let's say you're a Japanese person, it's going to help you so much if you start to understand how to say things directly rather than saying things in Japanese in your mind and then translating it to English. Does that make sense?
yes, yes.
So how did it help you?
So when I came to Toronto, Canada here, so like first few months, I didn't know that high context and low context. That's why when I speak English, I always make a sentence in Japanese in my brain and then translate into English and then speak English. So the English should be weird because we never express our mind directly. We always roundly, That's why I was struggling with the situation, and then I Googled it, and then what is the difference English and Japanese? And then I finally found there's a high context and low context culture, right? This Japanese and English is totally opposite side. So then the change in my life 100%. Now I can make a sentence in English in my brain and just say speak that. That's why it's very changed my life, to be honest. So I would say like if you want to be like good English speaker, you have to change your mind too. Like, you know what I mean?
So you have to think in English, kind of. You have to think about the English culture and the English society, like the Western society. Think directly, think low context
Yes.
to improve your English as to be like a native speaker level.
Yeah.
Oh, I see. So
So I didn't talk about it previous one. So most Japanese people like studying English, like focusing on grammar and writing, reading, something like that. And then they always worry about my English is right or not, my grammar is right or not. So that's why it's like they are not open to speak English. They're always like thinking about in their brain is right or not. But in my opinion, we don't have to worry about it. Just speak it. And then it's in my opinion, I always my behavior is also try to change. Japanese people always they don't use a lot of how can I say body language or something. But for English speaker like here, they always oh my god, what do you mean? Something, express their mind with body
the
languages,
hands, yeah.
behavior. So I always copying them.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's a good way to learn. I feel like in Japanese culture, you more express it with sounds.
Sounds.
Right? The food is like tss, or the hair is like fua fua,
Fua-fua.
something like that.
Oppai too. Oppai, fua-fua. It's real.
Fua fua,
Fua-fua.
for anyone who doesn't know fua fua oppai.
Fua-fua. Yeah, this is fua-fua.
Fua fua.
I like it.
One of the other things we say in English is a lot of positive words. Maybe as a native English speaker, we don't realize it as much, but happy Halloween, good morning, good evening, good night, Merry Christmas, happy holidays, something like that. It's all happy, positive, good words.
Yeah.
In comparison, the Japanese style.
Yeah, we just say good morning, like ohayo. Actually, and happy new year is akemashite omedetou. It's not negative word, but it's not positive word too. So when I speak English, I feel very positive energy from the English. That's why it's very comfortable and it make me more positive That's why I'm Japanese, but I'm very comfortable when I speak English more.
Because it hypes you up in the language. It's
Always hype me up.
It's a very positive language, yeah. One of the other things I think is important to talk about is the individuality. So in Canada, I don't know about America, but in Canada, if you're wearing a nice outfit, you're wearing nice clothes, you might get a compliment. You're not might. You're probably going to get complimented. People are so friendly here, and they love to give compliments. You know, you can be walking down. Oh, I love your jacket. Where did you get it from? Your hairstyle looks so nice. Something like that. Really, really common in Western society.
Yeah.
Is individuality compliments, versus in Japan, what happens?
Never happened. So this is also my culture shock when I come here. So when I was in the subway, right? And then suddenly the people told me, hey, I like your hair. I like your outfit, something like that. Okay, thank you. I was so surprised, but that's very hyped me up. But in Japan, in the subway, it's never happened. Because we are not so open-minded, they are not so friendly, kind of shy. So if they think like my outfit is good, but they never told me. So
they just keep the thoughts to themselves,
Yeah.
right? And so, okay, one other question is, what if we're with a group of people, there's 6 people, okay? Us, so two of us, 4 others.
Yeah.
And I say, let's go get sushi. And the other 4 people say, yeah, sushi's fine, because they're all Japanese. Yeah, sure. But you think, I hate sushi. I don't want sushi.
I want ramen.
I want ramen. What are you going to say in Japan?
In Japan,
What would you say?
can I say my opinion?
Oh,
Okay, I'm not typical Japanese. I say I want ramen.
this is the Osaka style.
Yeah.
But I think
Yeah, usually.
typically,
Yeah.
it's
typical-
you just agree.
Yeah.
Typical Japanese, even though maybe they hate sushi, they hate raw
Yeah.
fish, something like that, they're still going to say like, yeah, that's fine, let's go.
Yeah, that's fine. Let's go. I follow you.
Their
Exactly.
Japanese culture is about going as a group and following what the group does. We call it like group think. So everyone agrees on the same topic. Versus in Canada, America, English, Western society, it's a lot more individualistic. We want to know why you think that way. You know, we want to know what you really want to eat, not what you just agree with, what you're okay with. And yeah, that's kind of a difference in our cultures.
Exactly. So yeah, I can say like when you want to know some culture, you should learn to their languages too. So if I want to learn the Western culture, I have to study English. So when you want to know the Japanese culture, you should learn Japanese more. You know, this is the best way to learn new culture.
And I think it's, yeah, so I've been practicing Japanese for a year now, and I've learned to be able to blend in more, to think as a group versus trying to think individualistic. To give a quick summary of what we talked about today, we were talking about high context culture, which is Japanese language,
Yeah.
and low context culture, which is like English language. And the differences between them is that high context, a lot of things aren't said. You're looking for the person's actions, how they say the words they said, maybe their movements and the body language, and you're reading the air around them. Versus English, where if you ask something and they give an answer, usually it's exactly what they mean. Unless a girl says she's fine, she's not fine.
Yeah.
I learned that the hard way. That's
Exactly.
that's for all cultures. That's across every single culture. If a girl says she's fine, she's not fine. Anyways, that's it for today's video. Thank you for watching. Keita also has a YouTube channel. I'll put the link in the description if you're interested in subscribing to his channel. He does his vlog about his daily life in Canada. So yeah, it's a lot of interesting videos from a Japanese perspective. All right, thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time.
See you.
Bye.
Bye.